Hello, everybody, and we are here again reporting from KrakaCon, a internal conference that our friends at K6 are having here in Barcelona, España, or Spain, you want to call it that way. And we were learning a little bit about how you can measure or show what are the benefits of some of the technologies and things that you are using based on the outcomes, that like seeing the final the end game is better. And well, where did I see that is with our amigo Viktor. Viktor, very happy to have you.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure. And I mean, he's a very nice guy, a nice person, as we were talking earlier.
Right back at you?
No, you got it first. No, I'm kidding. But Viktor, before anything, do you mind introducing yourself to the audience? Who are you? What do you do? Why are you special?
Why am I special? Oh, that's such a hard question.
What do you do?
I didn't know we were going to go so deep. So I'm Viktor. I've been with K6 for around 6 years at this point, for quite some time, even before Grafana days. And I worked in various kind of customer-facing positions. If you reached out to our support, you might have had contact with me. If you were on a demo call or a sales call or in a something like professional services consultation, there's a high chance we might have met. If we haven't, we still can.
In touch.
Yeah, and these days I'm working in this internal team that's charged with basically bringing this value that we're building in front of customers and making sure that we provide ample feedback back to engineering and product. So more or less trying to be helpful wherever I can. That's my job.
You are usually, I have seen that, and you are, sounds like more the liaison in between what the customer wants and the team.
I try
bringing the magic into. And speaking of magic, yesterday, well, a few days earlier, you showed us some of these magic features and some of these magic things that I would love if you can show to the audience. What is this and what are those outcomes and what can people get out of?
Yeah.
Do you mind?
Yeah, of course.
Bring it on.
That's why we're here.
Let's get the screen ready here, and so that you all can see what Viktor is going to be showing. So what do we have here, Viktor?
So we are now in Grafana Cloud, and that's the product I'm usually talking about. And what's really interesting for me, just coming from my background, is our testing in synthetics module. And the audience might be asking, like, why are these two kind of crammed together? Like, why is testing and synthetics together? And we're going to explain that.
They are more related than you would imagine.
Definitely. And the main thing that we are trying to do at Grafana Labs for at least past few years, I would say, is bringing all of those awesome technologies, first of all, coming from open source into the cloud, and then leveraging the power that we have in interconnecting them. So having all of that at your fingertips and then having those outcomes and ease of flows between different observability signals and your testing data, for example, which is our angle here today, is what we're trying to do.
Let's take a look, because I'm dying to see how I know it, how they interact, testing and synthetics, and the plethora of benefits that we can have.
Yeah. So if I go into my performance testing, which is Grafana K6 Cloud, I can go into one of my projects here where I have a full overview of different test configurations that I have in
different performance projects that you work.
Performance projects, and inside of a project I can have this foldering structure of organizing my workflows and setting different limits on them per team or per microservice or however I want to organize this. But what we want to see is actually in the results, because that's where the value of a test is.
That's what we want is an outcome, right?
Exactly. So no one wants to test, actually, is what I found. What you want is, I want some information on how to improve my system.
Yeah.
I don't want to test, I want reliability. So that's the outcome that we're aiming for. And what we see here when you run a test that, so this is a fairly small scale down system or system under test that we're targeting.
1,000 users. That's a small for Viktor.
Fairly small, but you can see that our system is not coping well with it. So we're giving you a lot of information here and trying to draw your eyes to what is important, right? So there's a performance overview chart on the number of high-level metrics, of total requests made, number of HTTP failures, what's my peak output in RPS, and what's my 95th percentile response time, which is typically something that you would care most about when you're doing performance testing over the protocol level. And then we get to the graph where we show 4 main metrics. So we will see how our virtual users, so how our load or concurrency is increasing while the test is ramping up, and then we will see how that traffic, how that execution is actually being perceived by my system. What is it reporting? So my response time, my request rate in the purple color here, and then the number of failures, right? But that's also nothing, I would say, that is.
We found failures.
Groundbreaking.
Then what?
In terms of performance testing, a lot of tools will give you a view maybe similar to this, and that's useful, quite cool to see. But that gives us only one side of the equation.
We know there's a problem, but what's the problem?
Where is it? How do we find? So we have a system that we might have a lot of components, a lot of services, a lot of microservices interconnected. Where is this problem coming from? Which service?
Where is the bottleneck?
Yeah, where is the bottleneck? But more importantly, if I'm working in a company, which most of us are, who owns this service? Which team? Where do we store logs for this service? How do I get there? How do I get access to that system? How do I get to this log line that is relevant to me for this test?
Because you will be bugging a bunch of people usually in most organizations.
Yeah,
like, you have the logs. Can you give me permissions? Are
you guys working on this? Like, can I see the logs because I'm trying to debug something? Well, luckily, we've combined the power of K6 with power of our tracing technology, Tempo. And K6 can now actually attach trace IDs into each request that we're sending to the target system. If this target system is instrumented with Tempo, we can connect the dots, which makes it really easy to do what we just described. So there's this handy traces tab here, which we can go in, and there's a view of, first of all, our K6 scenario, our group here, and then URL that we're targeting, so endpoint.
And everything is related specifically to the tests that you executed.
We are focusing on the context of this test. All other traces are automatically filtered out of this. And let's pick on this checkout service, because we can see now a service name, because that has been instrumented. We can pick on it and see, okay, maybe there was a issue here. And I can quickly go from context of my test
into the context of the tested solution.
Exactly. Into that exact service and see how this actual request propagated throughout my system. Let's say in the checkout service, maybe there was an issue
where it was getting stuck. Yeah.
And I can easily go down to the exact log line for this particular trace and see, this is what happened. Why am I having this issue, right?
So you're digging down into like the rabbit hole pretty much, but you are being able to pinpoint exactly where this slowdown is happening and why we are having these issues.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. And what can you do with all this? What are the next steps for?
So next steps are typically, I want to figure out what does the log say, what might be the issue on the server side, and what happened there. But we also have a different thing that we can leverage here.
Okay.
Glad you asked. So tracing is not the only signal that we can leverage in K6. We have a really good integration with another open source technology that we make here at Grafana Labs, which is Pyroscope.
Okay.
Our continuous profiling tool. So there's this, again, handy tab called Profile. If we click here,
that beautiful fire graph, was it?
Flame graph.
Flame graph.
Close enough. Good. I didn't know this fire from a while ago. Coming from performance testing side, I also I would say I don't have a lot of knowledge about this, but it's definitely useful.
It's super powerful. Yeah.
So what are we actually doing here? We are connecting our test context into our profiling information. So what profiling does is we are instrumenting our code base down to basically every line of code. So when this code is executing, I want to see how much CPU or memory I'm consuming on my infrastructure side.
And all this will help you also to pinpoint possible sources of this bottleneck, right?
Not only that, but it will
not
also...
possible, right? The actual causes.
Yes, but not only that, it will help me in the reverse situation. Maybe I'm over provisioning resources. A lot of us are typically, when we're trying to vertically or horizontally scale as the load is coming on our system, we might be coping with it in a way that it's not cost effective. We are over provisioning services, we're over provisioning containers maybe.
You're barely using, I don't know, the memory, the CPU, and why don't you kind of tone it down?
Exactly.
I never thought of that possible use.
Exactly.
That's great.
So we're actually saving our company's money.
Cloud money, that usually.
Cloud money, which is a lot of cheese.
Expenses lately.
Yeah.
So what does this showing us? How can we use it?
Glad you asked. So if you go into our profiles drill down here, which is a new view, fairly new view in Grafana Labs, or Grafana Cloud, sorry, you can actually see a breakdown of what we just saw. So we're, again, staying within that test context here. It's the same actual flame graph, but you don't want me explaining what this means. We can just click the button.
Why are you here for? Okay. Oh, wow. So that's an actual explanation of...
That's an actual explanation of this
my
flame
God.
graph. So
you don't need Viktor anymore.
You don't need me. I'm just happy to click buttons for you, and Grafana Cloud will do the rest. So our performance bottleneck apparently is in this call chain consuming most resources. So we can click here. I need to show it. If I go back a bit, this is where the magic happens. I can go to function details and I can connect to this environment. Oh, I knew I had to do something. Doesn't matter. We can take a look.
We can skip this part.
Security. We care about security in Grafana Lab.
Yeah, it's super important.
So we can go to the actual line of code.
Wow.
To see the code that has been executed.
Culprit here of this problem.
Culprit here, but we don't stop there.
Okay. So, I mean, super powerful at a beginning. As a performance engineer, usually when we find a bottleneck, we say, we found a bottleneck. It's around here. Good luck. Ops, support, database, whoever is responsible for...
The job is done.
Whatever the bottleneck is.
Yeah.
But with this, you can say like, hey, this line of code has an issue. This database call has an issue. This element, CPU or RAM, and that's not it. What else can we do now?
Well, we've been following current trends. Mostly. There's a lot of talk about this AI
thing, yeah, and everywhere.
Everyone is talking about it. So there's this handy button.
Okay.
Optimize code.
Oh my God, what's the button gonna do?
Glad you asked again. So what it will do, it will have a brief explanation of improvements,
Ah,
optimization direction, and it will give you a suggestion. Let's call it a suggestion on how you can improve
oh my
code
God.
for your service, where you can effectively use this as a feedback in a PR, which of course humans should should check first before you merge into
Of course.
anything important.
Always that you get AI input, pass it through human eyes.
Exactly.
But I mean, I think of this easily being like a Jira ticket being submitted, just like with all the instructions or possible things that can be done.
We're working on really exciting things based on this kind of connections, where this might be a teaser trailer for everyone.
Coming soon.
Coming soon to Grafana Cloud near you, is where we're trying to do actually that. Where while you're collecting these profiles, we want to be able to smartly suggest optimizations in your code base to bring you more value, to bring you those insights. And then since you can have that connection to your code base, you might be able to maybe potentially possibly create PRs.
Wow. Yeah, because you just need the to reach, once you have this information, just add the functionality to call the API,
Exactly.
given a PR, given a Jira ticket, or submit, I don't know, a Slack message or a deeper request or something.
Yeah, there's a really cool video of Uber doing this exact thing. I'm sure I can send it to you so you can attach it somewhere. But
Victor will give me the URL for the video so that it's gonna be down in the comments and you can check it out. Take a look at the potential. Think of the opportunities. Wow, this is exciting.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's when I started in K6, I couldn't imagine that
all this was gonna be possible, right?
Yeah, even this feels like magic to me. Even now, talking about it, even though I saw it, it being developed and was quite close to development, but those tracing and profiling integrations are something that help us shine a light to that black box that was the system before for performance testers.
I think that's a huge leap that we are moving now, adding observability to performance, and all the performance engineers should start getting into observability. You can see the potential of this. Exactly. It's huge.
Exactly. And then with the information that we have with our from our profiles, from our traces, we can optimize or try to optimize the system. We go back to our test and we click run.
So after you applied that quick fix, you just run again and see how it worked, and
did it work?
Verify, and
we need to verify.
You are closing the loop.
Exactly. And then let's say we fixed it. I'm happy with what we did. What we can do is connect it to production monitoring, because I'm typically assuming people are doing their performance testing, load testing in pre-production. I know that pre-production and production systems cannot be...
Don't be afraid to test in production, but be careful.
Yeah, exactly. But we did mention that we have testing and synthetics in the same group here.
Mm-hmm.
So once I deploy that code, I want to make sure as a developer, maybe as a DevOps guy, as an SRE, I want to make sure that this critical workflow that I've been testing, I want to make sure that it works.
It works well once it arrives at production.
Yeah, and I don't want to look at the dashboards the entire day or try to figure out when something is wrong. So in our synthetics monitoring module here, I can add a new check, and you'll see that we have different choices here.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them, or two of them technically, are
related.
K6 related. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So there's a cool K6 logo here on K6 scripted check. So if I click here, you see that we are actually running that same JavaScript cool K6 code.
You have a lot of customization options here. Yeah, the power of K6.
So power of K6 at your fingertips in production monitoring as well.
That's what I meant a little bit. Like, you should test in production, not load testing sometimes, But not load testing, you can be testing continuously in production and get a lot of information.
Exactly. So you can actually get value of K6 in your production monitoring, which then hooks up into our alerting engine for Grafana Cloud, which hooks up into our SLOs, alerts, and incident response management.
Oh, wow.
And it's a basically complete flow from the line of code into deploying that code, into retesting that code, monitoring, and being alerted if something goes wrong.
What I see here is that you're not only closing the loop, but that you can go around and come back and forth in the loop and on the functions that you have on Grafana Cloud.
Yeah, we definitely want to provide our users with a complete tool set where you can pick and choose the parts that work for you, your company, your team, your workflow, but also have this compelling story of how you can connect all of them at the same time. Oh man.
Okay, so it sounds like we are getting short on time here. To wrap up, Victor, out of these awesome functionalities, mind-blowing situations, the code element and analysis, it's incredible. Any other last things that you would like to mention, bring up, shine up, coming soon, or?
Coming soon. So we're going to again work on additional integrations. I don't have a lot to share maybe on that front right now. There's gonna be more tightly integrated experience with our front-end observability and synthetic monitoring and performance testing, because front-end observability is another signal we can then use and leverage in these workflows. So stay tuned. We're going to be hard at work on our side and to bring you these cool experiences.
I look forward. It's going to be super powerful to have the other areas that we can check on.
Then we can do another one of these.
Yeah, I look forward to it because every time that we see the new things coming on K6, I get shivers, really. So,
it's pretty cool here.
Victor, thank you very much for showing us all these features. I look forward to these other recordings. And, well, thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
And there you have it. You were able to see how the outcomes and how these things can work. Things are getting busy here, so we'll call it a day. Thank you, Victor. Gracias. I'll see you around. Adios.